Welcome to Rainy Books with Amanda. My name's Amanda and today I'm going to be talking about the recently English published version of Shuna's Journey by Hayao Miyazaki. So to be honest, I didn't even know that this book was actually coming out. I was walking in a Books Million when I was on my trip in Arkansas and I passed by it and I was like, what is this? Because I'm a big Ghibli and Miyazaki fan, so when I saw it, I knew that I had to add it to my Ghibli collection, and I'm really glad I did. So for those of you who don't know, Hayao Miyazaki is a Japanese animator, director, producer, screenwriter, author, and manga artist. He is a co-founder of Studio Ghibli, where he has attained international acclaimed success as a masterful storyteller and is widely regarded as one of the most accomplished filmmakers in the history of animation. So like I said just a few seconds ago, this book was just translated into English in 2022, like the end of 2022. But this book actually came out in June of 1983, 2 years before Miyazaki actually produced his first film. And so I'll talk a little bit, I'll just read the little synopsis about the book and then I'll get into my thoughts and everything. Shuna, the prince of a poor land, watches in despair as his people work themselves to death, harvesting the little grain that grows there. And so when a traveler presents him with a sample of seeds from a mysterious western land, he sets out to find the source of the golden grain, dreaming of a better life for his subjects. It is not long before he meets a proud girl named Thea. After freeing her from captivity, he is pursued by her enemies, and while Thea escapes north, Shuna continues toward the west, finally reaching the land of the godfolk. Will Shuna ever see Thea again, and will he make it back home from his quest for the golden grain? First off, the illustrations in this book are absolutely gorgeous. I will be adding some of the pages as I'm talking about my thoughts and everything so that you can see a little sneak preview. But as you can see, like the art is very watercolor based, it's very beautiful, and it's very beginnings of how Miyazaki's work would come about on the big screens. So not only do some of the characters and the creatures that we see in Shuna's Journey go on to be part of future Ghibli films, we can see his art style and overreaching tones put into this story. So a lot of Miyazaki's work is about like nature and war and not messing with nature too much, and so we definitely see this in Shuna's Journey. And when I was reading it, it honestly reminded me of like a beginning or somewhat of a branch of Nausicaa with a mix of Princess Mononoke. If you've seen those Ghibli films, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, go check them out. They're masterpieces. I felt like the same messages that Nausicaa and Princess Mononoke were telling you throughout the film is exactly what the message was for Shuna's Journey. Also, something else that I kind of want to talk about, like this, I know it's my Manga Monday, this is part of my Manga Monday series, but it's not actually really a manga. As you can see, it's more of it's an illustrated story, but it's not like a children's story. It definitely didn't feel like a children's story. Overall, more like I was reading a storyboard. There was a lot of heavy narration in this book rather than dialogue. There's some, but like the characters don't talk as much as we see them moving and the narrator narrating their actions and their feelings. So that was a little bit different, and it actually makes the reader feel like we're actually reading a story, like a storybook, and not like a traditional manga. Kind of going back, that this story isn't super kid friendly. There is a darker undertone to the story. Like I said, it deals with nature and not messing with nature, but it is pretty dark and it's a little bit gruesome as well, and some of the parts can be a little bit freaky, so definitely a darker story, but that's typical Miyazaki. But it wasn't, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting more like episodic. I came to find that it was a little bit more dark. I was thinking I guess I would say I was thinking more Zelda tone, and it was definitely more Princess Mononoke tone. Which I guess I should have expected that, but you know. And then as per a lot of Ghibli content, this story was actually loosely based off a traditional Tibetan tale of a prince who goes for some seeds and ends up turned into a dog for stealing them. We learned that at the afterword of the story. It was like notes from the illustrator, but it definitely felt loosely based and not directly from the story. I felt like I haven't actually read that tale, but it definitely felt more like maybe only the seeds and the journey part were part of this story and everything else was original, but that's just my thoughts. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed Shuna's journey. It is a beautifully well-written story. Definitely a gem. Definitely a gem, and something if you are a Miyazaki or a Ghibli fan, definitely add this to your collection. It's a good one and it's not a hard read at all. Yeah, I definitely recommend it, and I'm really glad that it was translated because it was Miyazaki's only story that he ever published and wrote, so that was pretty cool. But anyways, thank you for joining me on this Manga Monday. If you've read Shuna's Journey, let me know your thoughts below. And until next time, happy reading.